Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix. Hello, welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 214.
You got it, guys. Yeah! You got it. Oh my god. Sitting here waiting with bated breath. Could he spit out the three numbers I was looking for?
By George, I think he's got it. But we are here, as always, to talk comics, new and old, and everything in between. My name is Rob. Joining me, as always, is
Rob.
Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Are you?
No. No. Wish I was.
That's a change.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're just eating a lot of sandwiches. I don't know.
Oh, I need to eat more. I'm losing a lot of weight.
Most people would say that's good.
I've always been in the vicinity of 210 to 220.
Okay.
And then 4 years ago through 7 years ago, I hit 235. The 210 to 220 is me in good shape. 235, 240 is me a little heavy, kind of heavy. So when I started losing weight, I thought that was kind of nice, and I hit 220, and then it hit 210, and I've been 210 since the end of 8th grade.
Oh, jeez.
5'11", 210, and I mean, just carried it really well, and it just kept dropping, and now I'm down to 179, so it's something we're going to be looking into.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yep, not very good at all. I got a whole bunch of imaging appointments lined up that I get to look forward to, and I also, because of the 2 bouts of SVT recently, I also have an appointment with an electrophysiologist to discuss whether or not I should be getting a pacemaker.
Oh boy.
Yeah, fun times.
If it helps at all, I know it's a scary prospect, but I have known many people in my family that have had a pacemaker, and they've been better off for it. It's not been an issue. It's not been an interference. They barely knew it was there. If that helps alleviate any concerns or fears you might have.
I mean, the damnedest thing about having kids is like, you're like, okay, whatever has to happen to keep me around. I don't really get much of a choice in whether or not I want to do it.
Yeah.
They would all take turns beating me on a loop.
I
with
get
weapons.
that. I would pick fists, but
Oh, their fists would become weapons. That would definitely happen.
fair enough.
But they would also use brooms and sticks and swords and
Swords. That seems counterintuitive to the point.
I think they're trying to teach me a lesson. Here. You want to get fixed? Let's see if we get you fixed.
On a happier note, I see you growing a mustache.
Oh God!
You're the one that wanted to save it for the show.
I thought if maybe I put it off to discuss on the show, you may have forgotten.
I can't forget because I'm looking at it the whole time.
Well, you're
It's
usually
all
not
I
sitting
can
here
look
looking
at.
at it.
It's all I can
Yes,
see.
I have a mustache. I had a, the tremors that go on in my hands. I had a shaving mishap that took away that part of my goatee.
Mhm.
Um, so that was super cool, super fun. Um, I was requested to keep it because of Holly. She requested that I keep it, and she doesn't quite understand why I don't like a mustache. And here's the thing, okay? This is why. And I've got everything I need right here. Everything I need right here. All right, ready? This
Yep.
is why. Okay, so
Glasses.
guy with nothing on,
Yeah.
just a mustache.
Yeah.
I'm not a guy. I'm a guy with a mustache.
Okay.
Now, hold on. Watch how each of these looks totally change everything.
Now you look super undercover.
Now I look super undercover, and if I put on sunglasses,
You
I'm
look
definitely
like you're
undercover.
trying to hide.
Yes, exactly. All right.
Yeah. To be fair, that look with the dark
Novelty
sunglasses.
regular novelty trucker hat.
Don't be a Richard. I love it. I love that message on the hat. Eh,
Now I look like
doesn't.
that guy you don't want to talk to at your friend's barbecue.
eh, in
Yeah.
my time, it's a little different. Like I might want to talk to you. You sound like you look like you might be a cool guy.
Well, yeah. I guess you ain't been around enough rednecks.
That's
Well,
good.
I've got that
I also
now.
live in southern
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah. So
Not a lot of rednecks.
glasses. Now I'm Ned Flanders.
Badly ho.
And regular glasses with the hat. Now I'm somebody you don't want around your kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the hat's not too bad. The hat doesn't really kill anything, I would say. And I was gonna say, but you had your headphones off. The black hat with the sunglasses on anybody would make them look incognito. Avengers alone made that a reality, right? In almost any Marvel movie in the Infinity Saga, if they were trying to hide, they wear a black baseball hat and sunglasses. That was the incognito look.
Well,
Right, so
okay,
it's not even that.
there's a little bit. You can look like you're trying to be hidden, or you could look like somebody who is very, very bad at being an undercover Fed.
Yeah.
That's what I look like in that baseball and sunglasses.
That actually became a
So,
Halloween costume for me one year at a party. I had a Captain
I'm not
America
surprised.
shirt, and I had a leather jacket, and I got like a Captain America shield, just a plastic one, and I got
Mhm.
sunglasses and a baseball hat, black hat. And I'm like, this is Captain America undercover, but he was found out, so now he's got to fight.
There you go.
Yeah,
Undercover America.
exactly. Undercover America. Um,
Oh
that
boy.
reminds me. There's a movie I got to tell you about later. It's called Undercover Brother. It's a little older now, but it's
Oh, I've definitely
you've
seen
seen.
Undercover
I
Brother
had a feeling
before.
you've seen Undercover Brother. It's so
Yeah,
funny.
absolutely, man.
I haven't watched it in like, God, it's at least 10 years.
I mean, that era of film wasn't exactly. It didn't age the greatest, but
No.
I definitely did watch most of the comedies that came out at that time.
Yeah. I would
Um,
say Undercover Brother. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but from what I remember, it's not overly offensive stereotypes. It more just parodies a lot of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then Ladies Man, for example,
Yeah.
with Don Cheadle in it. I think I might be the only person on the face of the planet that recognizes the quote, "Pardon me, but would you like a fifth sandwich?"
I've not actually seen that movie.
Oh boy. Okay, let me tell you. If you don't mind an idiot movie that's just Don Cheadle being very raunchy and oblivious to a lot of things.
All right.
If you think you could find that funny, you will fall in love with The Ladies Man.
Okay. I mean, I would take Don Cheadle doing anything, and I've watched Dude, Where's My Car enough times to basically prove I don't care about stupid humor being done. I rather enjoy it.
You
So,
then I strongly suggest you check out The Ladies Man.
gotcha.
Pop
I
me,
gotta
would you
check
like
that
a
one
fifth sandwich?
out. Um,
Oh no! No, I'm sitting here laughing at shit you don't understand, but that's okay. You will.
perfect. Um, but yeah, no, the mustache is okay. I don't think it makes you
That's
look like
okay.
a pedo bear.
It's
Or
only
anything.
because Holly wants it that it's here, or I honestly would have shaved the fucking thing all the way off.
Like the whole stigma on mustaches has kind of died away, especially after the Movember movement. That really put a bigger emphasis on mustaches and making them a bit more accepted in society. And now pedos don't wear mustaches; they just look creepy in other ways.
I guess I just missed that memo in pedo mostly. So.
I mean, Movember, like I said, it really helped move that along.
Movember.
Movember. You
I'm
know,
familiar with No Nut November. What is Movember?
Movember predates November actually, but so Movember was a thing started in I believe with some guys in Australia, maybe around 2012, 2013, something around there, if I have my dates right, my years right. And it was they just stuck it between themselves and some friends and family. We're going to grow mustaches for November to raise money for, I believe, let me double check. I believe it's testicular cancer
Okay.
research, right? Not to raise money to support cancer, just support cancer research.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then it grew from there.
Down with
Prostate cancer. That's
testes.
what
Fuck
it's
those balls.
just prostate cancer, not testicular cancer. But so prostate cancer, among more of men's health issues. Oh no, testicular cancer is also there. But yeah, so that's the idea. It's a fundraiser that went global, and every November, many people grow mustaches, and as they grow the mustache, they get people to pledge money to help raise money for research.
No, that's what I'm totally doing. So anybody want to send me money? I'm looking into how to make my hair grow back.
Bitch, it's September.
I'm
You're 2 months early, but I get it.
just being on the ball. That's all.
I've had a mustache for a bit. Not right
I
now,
have.
but I've had them before.
I have never had just a mustache.
I was not.
Never.
I honestly, I was not confident either, and I felt the same way as you. I thought it made me look creepy as all hell, but I got used to it. Nobody was freaked out, so
It looks weird. It looks different, but whatever.
yeah, you'll eventually get used to it and enjoy it.
That's what
And
she said.
I, I bet, I bet that's what Holly said. I just can't wait for Brandon to get back, and hopefully, the first thing he sees or says when he sees you is that a mustache? Like exactly what I said.
Yeah.
In a few weeks, I
I'll
hope.
be surprised if it doesn't.
How long are you gonna keep it? Till Holly says you can.
Yeah, until Holly says I can get rid of it, then it's
Yeah.
gone.
Gotcha.
For sure.
All right. Apart from that,
The crowd thinks that's a great decision.
also noise warning for headphone users. that
Oh, whoops.
that was bloody loud.
Well, let me go ahead and fix that then. I
Yeah, let's turn it
apologize,
down a
people.
little bit.
Yeah. That is said also.
So I've got no other news apart from in about 34 minutes, Linkin Park's going to be doing a live stream that definitely sounds like it's going to be a new single. Linkin Park is back, and I, for one, am stoked. And the
I can't
people
wait to
that are on their way now to go see it live in Los Angeles, I'm so happy for those people.
right.
I
Call
wish
me
I lived in
Smuckers.
LA.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm Schmucker. 100% jelly, homemade. Y'all stomped my heart all over the place. It's damn near wine now.
Did I ever tell you, every time I see or hear the word Smuckers, all I can think of is that one joke from Family Guy?
What is that one joke from Family Guy?
So Peter comes home. It's just a one-off line, basically. It had nothing to do with the rest of the episode. Peter comes home. He's supposed to be a little busy with Lois in the bedroom. He comes home, and he yells upstairs to Lois, said, "Hey, Lois, they're out of KY jelly, so I got Smuckers."
Oh no, that's a
It's-
horrible
it's
thing
just-
to have to think
It's a
of.
fucking throwaway line. But when that first happened, I thought
Died.
it was the funniest thing. I died laughing. I still find it hilarious.
Thinking of
And-
Peter Griffin doing it whenever you think of
Smuckers.
jelly seems like a horrible thing.
Well, just Smuckers.
Just Smuckers.
If it's any other jam or jelly, doesn't it's just Smuckers? So I'm thinking that's what Peter used as lube that night.
That's nasty.
That's nasty. You're right, Cleveland. That is nasty. But yeah, no, that's one of my favorite Family Guy jokes.
They were out of KY, so I grabbed some Smuckers.
Yeah.
Hey, Lois. I can see it happening. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
exactly. There's that, and when he got in touch with his feminine side, started to breastfeed Stewie. and Stewie wakes up and looks, and then just the look of horror on his face when he finds a hair in his mouth is, oh, it's the funniest thing. But besides
Besides
yeah,
that.
that's besides the point. This is not about Family Guy. This is about comic books. Congrats to Linkin Park. That's what I was saying.
Yes.
I'm just so happy.
If
to
we
see what
lose
this is
Rob
going
in
to be.
33 minutes, he's
You
going
know
to
where
tell
I
us
am.
his internet failed.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's exactly it. You can handle the show from there, right, Josh?
I was wondering why out of the 5 books you assigned me 5 of them.
You only got 3. Honestly, it was just kind of coincidence that it laid out that way.
Tis all good.
I also didn't realize at the time, because I hadn't read any of the books when I made it, that Poison Ivy's a double-sized issue.
Oh, it went through kind of it went through pretty easy.
It's not too bad. It's like 3
Speaking
short
of-
stories.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff we've got coming this episode, the last son shows up, Darkseid almost the Justice Legion of Society heroes, Ivy moves on, and the BOP reaches an END. All of that takes place in Birds of Prey number 13, Justice Society of America number 11, Poison Ivy number 25, Absolute Power number 3, and Batman number 152. And I'll tell you about some honorable mentions here in just a moment after we take our commercial break. Okay. We are back, and as promised, the honorable mentions real quick. Here is the rundown. Trinity Special, World's Finest number 1. Not sure why World's Finest is added onto the title. It is not associated with that brand. However, It is the book, and it's just a collected reprint of all the Trinity backups that have been in Wonder Woman recently. There's really no difference. Not a fan of the entire thing. So 6 out of 10 altogether. The Penguin number 12. I don't like this title at all, so I won't grade it. It seems unfair. Plastic Man No More number 1. 8.5 out of 10. Linz, Edgar, and Mallow make a really good team for this particular story. Not one I would have normally put together. And Cantwell crafts a Plastic Man story that I'm already hooked on. Just one issue in. 8.5 out of 10 on that. The Boy Wonder number 5. 8.25 out of 10. What a great ending for a 5-issue series. The art isn't my usual preference, and it took about half an issue for me to get used to it. But beside that, I truly enjoyed the whole series, and the ride that it took Damien on. And by the end of it, we got a cool little spin that I really enjoyed. The cool little spin that it put on of We Are Robin Damien edition. So that was kind of neat. And that and those are all the honorables worth mentioning.
Right on. I can't wait to get into Plastic Man No More. I wanted to read it before the show, but I didn't get an opportunity. Shit. I do love
you know what?
Plastic Man story, but
I forgot to tell you.
uh-huh.
It didn't click into my head until you said Plastic Man, because yesterday we were talking. I was showing Holly the Plastic Man issue, and she asked if I had a Plastic Man figure yet, knowing that I didn't. I said no, but Rob did. Remember, I showed him taking it all around that expo, and she's like, "Oh yeah." So I showed her the figure and explained why I really want Plastic Man, but I don't want the other three of the other action figures that are a part of it. So I'm not going to get the set. Yada yada yada. And then we start looking at some things, and let me just show you. This popped up in my email. Well, are you gonna work or no? Do you see it?
Free Harley bat?
Make a $50 purchase and get the $50 Harley bat for free.
Right on.
Right? That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then the next thing you know, I've got that.
Oh, jeez.
This was, and this is what I would like to refer to as an unintelligent decision that I was sweet talked into getting by Holly, as it turns out, because the Harley bat is something that she is going to be taking and displaying in her office.
Fair enough.
Is it though?
But I have a question. Like, I know those are 3 figures you definitely want, but considering you were just talking about Plastic Man, I thought you were going to show me the Justice League figures.
Oh no! I can't bring myself to buy those figures when I've got no interest in putting together any kind of scene with Electric Blue Superman for example. I really want that Plastic Man, though. I really, really do.
I mean, you could always sell the Superman or use them as custom parts.
That's true. That's true.
And I could be wrong, but I think I came across something that sells Plastic Man pieces. But I'll get back to you. I'll look into it.
Well, that is something I would definitely be interested in seeing.
Hey, you said the other 3 you don't want. So what's the one you want or have?
I don't have any of them, but remind me what they are again, and I will say yes or no.
You got Electric Blue Superman.
Yeah, no.
You have this Aquaman. with the hook hand
Right.
and the silver half piece. You have black costume Batman.
Oh, that okay. Never mind. I got it. So I really like the Aquaman. I
Yeah,
kind of like the John Stewart, and I do
yeah,
not like the other two.
yeah. I am mostly there with you. Like I never read Superman Red Blue fully, but I always liked the design of the costume, so I'm not against having this electric blue Superman.
Hmm.
But the Batman is just seems like such a waste.
It is. I don't understand. Like, who thought that Frank Miller's Batman needed Michael Keaton's costume?
Like right? It's so close to being even just Justice League accurate if they just gave it the spiked cape shoulders.
I don't understand why you, if you're going to come that close to doing something for a specific reason, go all the way.
You
But
know?
and people think I'm fucking around or don't take this statement seriously, but really, if we're looking at the last little while here, if we're looking at spiked shoulders, those are exclusively reserved for the Batman sculptures that McFarlane does.
And Spawn. Well, no, there is a
Well,
figure that has
just as
spiked
far as
shoulders.
Batman goes.
No, there's a the Batman figure that comes in the 2-pack with Spawn has a spiked shoulder cape.
That's the only one.
That's what I find so fucking stupid because this specific version of Batman had the spiked cape shoulders the entire bloody run with Grant Morrison, and which is what this wave was based upon, apart from John Stewart.
Right.
Why not just give him that fucking cape?
Because Todd
It's so
didn't do it.
stupid. I don't
I'm
care if
telling
Todd
you.
didn't do it. Whoever did do it
I
should
am
have
willing
bloody done it.
I am willing to bet a
All those to
month's
donuts.
check that that is legitimately a rule at McFarlane, is that those spiked shoulders can only be put on one that he sculpts. That nobody else is allowed to do the spiked shoulders, that it's his thing. I would bet a month's check on that. It's just too odd that it never ever happens with anything unless it's one of his deals.
But is it him that does the sculpting, or is he just
He
like
did
the
the
owner
sculpting on the
doing some of
two
the designing?
big, huge Batman Year One and Year Two sculptures, and those were they're beautiful. They really are. They're great sculptures. I wish I had them, but and the spiked shoulders on them are just fucking perfect. He did the Batman Spawn. That was him.
Right.
So he'll put it on in his Spawn line, but he's not gonna do. He's a dick. I'm thankful for his toys, but he's a dick.
Yeah,
The Todd father.
the Todd father. Well, speaking of JLA, I'm going to take a photo here, and I will show you.
Take a
I
photo.
am almost done.
Uh-oh. With what?
My team.
Uh-oh.
I'm just missing one, and I will show you it in a second. And if you so please, you can even put it up on the screen if you were able to.
You sent it in Discord?
I did.
Where?
Collectibles.
Ah. Yeah, give me just a moment and I can do that.
Now, the one I'm missing, I do have a version of. It's just not McFarlane. Though, to be fair, one of these figures is also not McFarlane. And it might just be fine anyway, because the costume is right. And it is a DC Direct figure. I'm just apprehensive to open it. Well, the
I
box
can't
is
say I
damaged.
blame you there.
Only because this was my dad's, and he kept it sealed.
Ah.
but I am a firm believer in toys should come out of the box,
There we go.
right? And then I have this little ditty right here, this little Diana, ready to stand with the crew. I just got to take her out of the box.
Hold on a darn second here. When did you get a Wonder Woman?
Well, my dad had this for years.
Oh.
Yeah, so I kind of inherited this.
Um. Uh. Bro, those figures go for a bit, if I am not mistaken.
I already looked it up. This doesn't go for much.
Okay.
But I will double check.
It's the Kingdom Come line, yeah?
No, it's
Or was
Justice.
Okay, alright, okay.
Yeah. Back in the OG DC Direct. Hmm.
Indeed. Do.
Let's see if I can. Oh, here we go. ExperienceTheWonder.com. Oh, it's a Wonder Woman fan site. Okay. Yeah, it's just. Okay. That doesn't help me.
Oh, it doesn't help me having to look at you having the right Kyle.
Did you not get one?
No.
There's been like 3 of them.
Not that one, though.
Yeah.
Kyle Rayner Gold Edition is the only one that's good. It's the best one.
So there's Kyle Rayner Gold Label and there's Kyle Rayner Kilowog 2-pack, which also Gold Label. It's the same Kyle, just a different shade of green.
Wait.
So the one I have on display is the one from the Kilowog 2-pack. The Gold Label one has a lighter green tone to the suit and the constructs.
How much of shit? Aw. Boo. Probably could have got a Kyle then.
It's probably still available because it only came out like this year, last year, or something like that.
Okay. Oh, I spent too much money on toys this month.
I hear that.
It's gonna look cool when they get here, but I definitely spent too much money. And you know what? You just when you're spending too much money on toys, you don't have time to build up a nest egg.
Yeah, those are important. Take
Especially
it from me.
if you're a bird.
Yeah.
And that is going to bring me to, in a really weak transition, to Birds of Prey.
That was
13.
a weird transition.
Written by Kelly Thompson, art from Gavin Guidry, colors by Jordi Belair, letters from Clayton Cowles, and the cover from Leonardo Romero with Belair colors. The fight is at its crest and best as the birds' plan works and Sela is able to teleport them to the spirit world. They use timely strategized strikes to slow Maya down, and then they sick the spirits of her dead sisters on her after that. Maya opens up a portal to the real world to escape, and because of the birds' thoughts, it takes them right back to their hideout. Everyone there works together to beat on Maya, but is really not working. Nothing does until Sela speaks up and calls Maya out on her bullshit for not wanting to avenge their mom, but just be a villain like their mom. And that really messes Maya up. She transforms into a hummingbird and then bolts through the portal, closing it behind her. Barbara wants to go after her, but the rest of the group votes with a loud, resounding no. So then it's off to get something to eat. Black Canary looks up and says, "Oracle, you need to see this one right now." And that's the next issue. We're off to see what the next adventure brings us. I think it was an interesting close to a good run. I've enjoyed it. It's not quite what the first run was, which is absolutely one of the best bird arcs ever, but it was really enjoyable. The closing worked, everything got tied up. They've even got a magical low jack on Maya should she ever try to come through the portal again. That gives us an idea that she'll probably be returning at some point in the future. The art has been consistent throughout the entire thing, and it looked great, even in this issue. I do hope it continues, and I'm looking forward to the next book. I'm gonna give this wrap up issue a 7.75 out of 10.
I pretty much agree with everything you already said. It was a heck of a wrap up issue, leading us directly into what's going to come next. Excuse me. um, and I'm still just bloody sold on this entire series. It's so
For
good.
sure.
Um, sorry, I'm also distracted by my buddy texted a group chat with info on the Linkin Park reveal.
Ah.
15 minutes early, it leaked the song early on Tidal.
Oh, whoops.
We know who the lead singer is.
Well, then break it. This is breaking news.
All right. Okay. So, pause on Birds of Prey for a second.
Meow.
It's 13 minutes early, but that's fine. So, I will still say not confirmed, but apparently the new lead singer is Emily Armstrong from Dead Sarah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And The Emptiness Machine is the new single that will be debuting today.
Well, I am gonna have to get down on that. What a interesting fucking choice.
Yeah.
Well, okay, excellent. When it drops
Yeah.
live, instead of having to go over the title and ruin it, maybe we'll give it a listen. What do you think about Birds of Prey in the meantime?
Fuck, man. I can't talk about anything else right now. But, no, I honestly, like, Birds of Prey is bloody fantastic. um, Kelly Thompson's done a hell of a job with this book, with this team. You can tell it comes from a place of love and respect for this team and these characters, um, and probably a book that Kelly Thompson grew up with. So she wanted to make this a reality again, and by God, am I happy it's happening. Um,
You and me both.
and even this story genuinely just feels like exactly that. Like, it is, the whole thing has been a love letter to the Birds of Prey as a concept alone. So this has been
Agreed.
fantastic. This issue was really good. The teamwork is fantastic, and even spinning it in from Spirit World, like having not just have Xanthi show up, but also the actual spirit world be a point, and Cassandra's adventures in that book come back and be referenced was really well done.
Agreed.
Making it all make sense. I loved it. No, this gets 8.75 out of 10.
8.75. Rob's like, everybody gets a car.
What did you give it?
I gave it a 7.75. I'm not ragging on your score whatsoever. I'm
Yeah.
just. I think it was really good. You know, I'm just a little more stingy with my numbers than you are.
Hey, when I love a book, I love it.
That is for sure.
And speaking of loving books,
If you don't
I don't
be
know where
real
that's going.
about the book and you don't show the books you love the love, then there's no justice for the good books.
Ah,
And where does that leave society in America?
yeah. He said the thing.
I said the thing.
It's Justice Society of America, number 11. This is brought to us from Jeff Johns writing, with Marco Santucci on art, Evan Placencia on colors, and Rob Lee on letters, with the cover, you will see it before you, from Mikhail Yanin. So we pick up kind of where we left off last issue. The Legion of Superheroes in the 31st century have shown up to take Mordru back to the future. To do so, they have to fight against the JSA. Since the Legion severely outnumbers the JSA, at least 3-1, maybe even more, 5-1 potentially, they've called in every reserve member possible, which we get a god awesome fight from Titan Boy and Atom Smasher, which I think his name is Titan Boy. if if Josh was here, he'd correct me, but he's not. So, Colossal. Is that Colossal Boy? Might be Colossal Boy. But I think Colossal. No, that's Bouncing Boy. Josh, why'd you have to leave? Anyway, they had a pretty cool fight. The JSA and the Legion are duking it out all over the city. Up until Josh, you had the worst time to leave. Who is it? Atom Smasher is fighting. Is his name Titan Boy or Colossal Boy?
Colossal Boy.
Colossal Boy. I don't know why I was thinking it was Titan Boy, but I remembered after it was Colossal Boy. And then I was thinking Colossal Boy might have been the big fat guy, but I think that's Bouncing Boy.
Yes.
And this is why I don't read Legion of Superheroes.
It's a pretty dense cast.
Which is honestly kind of annoying because I love space age stories, and Legion of Superheroes is pretty space age. But it's, like you said, a dense cast, a lot of people to keep track of, and feels like a lot of teenage drama.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to read Star Trek on CW.
No. Good God, no one wants that.
So, not trouncing on Legion Superheroes. Fantastic, brilliant idea. It's just not for me. But yeah, so they duke it out all over the city. The Justice Society mostly get the upper hand, but then the battle is interrupted by Dr. Fate, Khalid Nasur, as well as the Legion of Substitute Heroes, who he then reveals that there is a traitor in their midst. And this is when Wildcat, Yolanda Wildcat, starts to hold her head and mutter stuff about Kent Nelson and Hector Hall. Maybe I could take him. And then she tears into her head and rips her body away to reveal that really she's Eclipso, or at least possessed by Eclipso. And Eclipso is revealed to be the mastermind behind all of this, forcing all of these things to happen, upping the emotional state of all sorts of people, and wants to bring Mordru back into the fold and help him take over the world, yada, yada, yada. So they have a big, well, not really big fight. Eclipso unleashes a whole bunch of energy and takes control of the minds of all the heroes in front of him. Mordru then turns to Huntress and says, look, take your crossbow, do it, hit the gem that's holding him, or that he's holding. That's the source of his power. And as she fires a crossbow bolt, Mordru enchants it with some magic. And, well, not just any magic, but some energy that he's harnessing from the Tyrant Sun Solaris. So that's a bit of a cut. And hits the gem, and then hits Eclipso, and Eclipso blasts away, and out pops Yolanda, safe and sound, and she's back to life. Everything is fine, and everybody's happy, and they all apologize, and everything's great. And even the Legion of Substitute Heroes are patting themselves on the back for helping save the day. Salem gives Khalid her blessing and says that she's off to Limbo Town to finish off some unfinished business. Excuse me. Mordru takes the Black Diamond, which he is able to hold, but the others cannot, since he is powerful enough. He is going to return to Gem World, but then the Legion also asks what after. But the Legion of Substitute Heroes have an idea that will benefit everyone. They can take Huntress, who is displaced from her time after her future has been erased, and Mordru, who wants to do better, but the Legion is worried that he won't. They will take both of them back to the future with them, and introduce them to a team that they discovered along the way, with the 31st century's version of the Justice Society of America, which brings us right back to the beginning of Justice Society Forever. It was a nice little ending. You see a cool little team, including XS wearing Jay Garrick's helmet, which was really cool. But
Mm-hmm.
that is the end of the issue. Next issue, Graduation Day, which I believe is also the last issue.
I believe you're correct there.
Yep. Um,
So
so,
we'll have to see what comes next for the Justice Legion of Society Heroes.
exactly. Right. So that was Just Society. That seems to be the end of Huntress's story for now, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of interesting because Huntress has been the focal character and the narrator for like the entire run so far.
Pretty
11
much, yeah.
issues, and now Huntress is just gone. So I'm curious to see how it's going to flow next issue, and if it is the last issue, it's pretty much just going to be an epilogue and probably um, wrap up any loose ends with the time displaced heroes from the Golden Age or the sidekicks, and finish off a bunch of their stories and see where they end up, which will lead into the Justice Society book starting up in November. Which, as much as I'm stoked about that book, I also love John's writing Justice Society. So I'm kind of bummed this isn't going the distance, but I'm happy we had it.
Going for speed.
Exactly. Is that were you singing Cake?
Yep.
Oh, okay, right on.
It pops into my head every time I hear the phrase going the distance.
She's going the distance. She's going for speed. She's all alone in top of me. That's a dope song.
Cake is
Um,
dope.
yeah, I prefer
My,
pie, but cake is dope.
I, well, yeah, and I'm the best person on the earth at eating pie. But, um,
I don't believe you.
there's no way for me to prove it to you. But, Holly's, Holly's mom's ex-husband, he passed away. Uh, had a had a pretty bad accident here at the house actually, but he had the condition of synesthesia, and he could often see colors in response to hearing sounds, and it made him absolutely love music. It made him love mandolins because he said they made the prettiest music. But he said that cake made the prettiest music, and it turned it into his favorite band. That like when the synesthesia would kick in, that it would that it was the prettiest. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Seeing sound, that sounds pretty fucking trippy.
Yeah, that is really cool.
For the Justice Society, as far as I go, it was okay, I guess. I didn't hate it. What happened in this issue felt a little squished in, maybe a little bit rushed. And I guess it all led to the whole point of the whole thing was to lead to the Justice Society of the 31st century, as far as I can tell.
I'm
Um,
realistic. I'm pretty sure that was a team we saw at the beginning of the book too, when Degaton was combing through time and fighting various versions of the Justice Society. I think we saw that team early on. The
okay,
future, because the whole theme of this book has been just legacy, and how the Justice Society has been the whole concept of legacy in DC Comics since the beginning, realistically. Maybe not since the Golden Age, but after that, once the Silver Age hit, Justice Society was really all about legacy. So
right.
bringing that here, I thought that's Johns
It,
knows what he's doing with it.
maybe that's okay because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it introduces new people. It gives Huntress somewhere to go. It gives old characters that haven't been touched in forever something to do. But it feels like the whole run was just to create that particular JSA. And if that's the case, cool. But what is the point of creating an additional JSA when the one that we've got going already is having such a hard time finding a place to be? Now, the second part that I had was, um, it's weird that Solomon Grundy's there for some reason, but then at the same time, for some reason, I do remember him being with the JSA at some point, and it could just be that I'm remembering seeing that panel that you had mentioned. I just don't remember seeing the panel.
So
Um,
Solomon was in the Justice Society that Helena started with
mm,
in like 20 or so years in the future, and then he was
okay,
one of the ones that she tried to get the current JSA to bring into the fold and help rehabilitate.
got ya.
Yeah.
Okay, all
So
right.
seeing
Well,
as he's immortal, basically, um, I'd imagine he'd still be in the JSA, not 30% sure.
yeah, I would imagine you're right too. So, I don't know. It was okay. It was good art. Trying not to shed on it too hard because it wasn't bad. It just felt a little empty. So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
I thought it was chock full of goodness. I'm giving it an 8.75 as well.
Very well then.
Yeah.
Are we? Do we got time to get into the next book, or do I? Am I gonna lose you here?
No worries. I'm sticking around. To be honest, I'm watching it in silence. It's my favorite band. I can't miss this.
Oh, I don't blame you, sir.
Yeah,
I do not blame you.
it is freaking cool so far. But no, we can continue.
Well, I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Um, all right, well then I definitely will. Here we go. Poison Ivy number 25. Hang with me here. There's 5 different parts, all with different creative teams. Lettering in all of them is by Hassan Asmani Al How. And the cover, always, as always, comes from Jessica Fong. There's an art spread, 2-page splash scene inside, which is almost enough reason to grab the issue on its own from Marcio Takara and Arif Prianto. It's gorgeous. So, the first one, The Rewilding Part 1, written by G. Willow Wilson, art from Marcio Takara, with colors by Arif Prianto. This quick little story, Part 1, is setting the stage for Poison Ivy by having her take kind of on a team leader role, even if it's just for a little bit. The events are over, but she needs to know the full extent of the damage that it caused by her intrinsically failed attempt at protecting Earth. She knows she can't do it herself, so in a very polite, pretty please with sugar on top kind of approach, she sends Croc to look into that town that she found in the middle of the swamp last issue. She sends Janet into Gotham to blend in and find out if any attention is being given at all to the Slaughter Swamp happenings. And she recruits Harley to help her dispose of the dozens of dead bodies everywhere. She says she's seen enough destruction. She sees that she was hurting what she was trying to help. And now it's time to clear away the dead stuff so they can begin anew. There's only time will tell what exactly begin anew means. Great art, of course, and this has me really curious about what part 2 is going to be. Next up, Beneath the Surface. Written by Joanne Starrer, art from Haining with Ivan Placencia colors. It's a really quick trip through Batman tripping. It takes place years ago, an encounter between him and Ivy, still full villain. She tries and a few things, and he's combating them, but once she breaks out the death caps, he starts tripping. He's had techniques and antidotes up till now, death cap, and it's done. He's tripping, it's his whole parents thing, and then when he comes out of it, she's gone. It's an okay story, and the art is really great. Mushroom Hunters, written by Grace Ellis, art from Brian Level, and colors from Arif Brianto. This one takes place earlier this year in Wyoming, of all places, a place that Ivy had made a stop. 2 cousins, one kind of a bum, one smart and going nowhere, decide to take some magic mushrooms. But they are the poison ivy strain. Lamia, they're called. They trip, go out and get more, start finding it in a lot of places. Cousin road trip to track down the mushrooms. Eventually, they track some down to a van. It happens to be Ivy's van that she was driving while her Lamia infection was getting out of control. The two land sharks, aka magic mushroom hunters, knock on the door and enter a whole big world of whoopsie. The smart guy sees the Lamia on her, demands to know everything about it, so she shoves him away, but he lunges back and bites her. Now he's infected, and the Lamia quickly spreads to cover him and his cousin, them tripping balls as the Lamia slowly strangles them to death. It was a story told well, even if it didn't need to be told. Don't take that the wrong way, though. It was an odd story, but again, it was written and done very well. And the art is great, and that is on the level. But Brandon would have found that joke funny because it's Brad Level that did the art. Rob's not listening to us at all, folks. Boots and Handbags, written by
I was muted, though.
written by Gretchen Felker Martin, art from Atigan Yan, and colors from Deborah Velos. This picks it up from earlier in the Rewilding Part 1. Croc has just had lunch, and he's out looking for the town that Ivy sent him after. Two hunters decide that they want to make boots and handbags out of him, and he decided that since one shot him, and now he's got indigestion from running so quickly after eating, that he's just going to have to eat them. Justice at work, I tell you. After he rips the arms off the last hunter, he looks up and he sees the town and has the appropriate oh shit train of thoughts. The art was good. The color palette was all from the same swatch. Very, very complimentary, so that the art almost has a muted tone to it, even when there's bright colors. Neat little, hey, this is where Croc went story, so I'll take it. Next up, the Pyro Fight. Written by Dan Waters, art from Danny, with colors by Brad Simpson. This is the story of a former Special Ops military member gone native. He's done some eco-terrorism here and there, and he tries again in this story. He sets 3 bombs to go off, but as a terrorist, the government has been watching him. They're able to disable 2 of the bombs, but as Robson, the turned op, dives to protect his 3rd device from being stopped, it blows up in his face, and his last thoughts are happy because he got to see it happen. Sounds like a normal pseudo-suicidal eco-terrorist, I suppose. But one thing does set this dude apart from all of the others. He did it because he thought Poison Ivy was speaking to him and sending him signs to go on certain missions. Though it seems obvious that the guy was schizophrenic. This was a good story, and hopefully not the setup to Ivy having drones that perform eco-terrorist acts for her. I dig the art and the story even more. And then finally, the Rewilding Part 2, written by G. Willow Wilson, art from Marcia Takara, again with colors by Arif Prianto. This is the closing of the first story. Harley helps Ivy toss the last body into the compost that she's been making. Janet was right there when the dude let the bomb off in Gotham. Croc tore 2 dudes apart and then found a hidden city. So Ivy apologizes for the hard day and says she'll find a way to make it up to them. Okay, so art across the board is beautiful, it really is. And this wrapped up the whole damn thing and showed where this merry little ragtag team of anti-heroes and office workers will be headed next. And it looks like Ivy is indeed in charge of a little team of her own. One that I, for one, am happy to have. And I don't want anyone to forget that she's good friends with Grundy now, so he's in her pocket as well. As long as he hasn't been taken out of play by the JSA. This oversized issue was awesome. I'm not much for detours, but the side stories related to this part, save for the Batman one, it all worked together and it did it well. I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10, which is very weird for me to give what, for all intents and purposes, is an anthology book. Oh, look at me. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at this one.
I mean, it really is an anthology book. You make a good point there, but it at the same one, I'm apprehensive to even call it that because all the stories, except for the Batman one, do kind of go into what's going on in Poison Ivy right now
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a
There's
certain
just
degree. At the very least, the Killer Croc one definitely does.
yeah,
Um,
just the things that are happening all at the same time. Just not all from the character's point of view, just from the event's point of view. I
yeah,
guess. Like I didn't even realize Janet was in that crowd till I read it, and then I went back and looked. I had no clue.
yeah, yeah. It was definitely a weirdly constructed book.
I didn't have a problem with it. It was just I don't want to say it was weird, more like unique.
Yeah. I didn't hate it. Like I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed the rest of this run.
Uh huh.
Like this definitely feels, as far as this run has gone, this might be the weakest issue for me. But that in by no means it's no sorry, I said that weird. That in no way means it was a bad issue or a weak issue itself. It's just the
No,
weakest of the run.
I feel
Um,
like the way that they did it, by having it just be a little bit bigger, and having these different things go, it managed to put a wrap up issue and a setup issue all in one issue.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. It wrapped up. Well, I mean, it was more like an epilogue of the
Yeah,
first 24 issues, and now it's setting up the next however many issues.
hopefully 24.
So yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. I'm excited to see what happens in issue 26. This mystery town in Slaughter Swamp has me very intrigued. I'm
Yes.
stoked for that. So we'll see what happens.
You and me
Um,
both.
So I am going to give it. Sorry, I should get my next book ready too. I'm too busy watching this fucking live stream. I gotta close it for now. I am going to give it. Um, I'll say a 7.75 out of 10.
All right.
What was your score again?
I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Right
Well
on.
deserved, I say.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I think the lowest score I've given a Poison Ivy book has been an 8. Um, that's out of 25 issues. To me, that is insane. And that's a hell of a run.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a run to be putting out that many good issues, 25 issues in a row, and not have that kind of power go to your head.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Seriously.
which brings us to
Mhm.
Absolute Power number 3, brought to you by everyone's favorite reviewer, Rob Aga.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm here. Yes, this is absolute power. My buddy sent me a Billboard article about what's going on today.
That
Um,
son of a bitch.
so you want to know the
Well,
info
yeah.
we have right now? So we got the new lead singer.
Uh-huh.
That is confirmed. It is who leaked.
Okay.
They also have a new drummer.
Oh no.
So Rob Borden has bowed out for now for whatever reason. Watching a bit
Okay.
of the live stream, Brad Delson, the guitarist, is not present. At least the guy that's guitaring does not look like Brad, but instead looks like the circa 2004 Dave Phoenix Farrell. But Dave is also there, so it's kind of weird. Um,
That's odd.
like he looks like Dave back when he had the short black hair. Remember that, like around
Yeah.
Meteora? He looks like that, but that's not Dave now, and Dave now is at the show right now. So it's really weird. But
Interesting.
Billboard has a cover probably coming out in the next issue, um, with the new Linkin Park lineup, and that includes new drummer, new lead singer, but Brad is present. So it's Brad, Joe, Mike, and Dave are returning. Rob has bowed out for now. They have a new drummer, new lead singer. I listened to a couple of. They started with a new track as well, which is quite good, and then they're getting into some of the old stuff, and it sounds really good.
Awesome.
They
That
sound good
makes me
together.
happy to hear.
They've also announced a tour, so they're
Nice.
touring, as well as a new album, which is coming November 15th.
Nice.
Yes.
Wonderful news for Linkin Park fans all the way around.
Oh God, is it ever? I am so happy.
How could you not be?
Exactly. But I digress. Here for comics, just piss poor timing on our part to do this right in the middle of a Linkin Park live stream.
What
But
were we thinking?
I know.
We weren't. That much is obvious.
Yes, but that's besides the point. We're almost there, folks. Sorry. I
Fine.
apologize. I'm interrupting this with my fandom. I tend to do that.
Interrupting their fandom with your fandom is rather selfish, Robert.
I'm more so filling you in too, because I know you like Linkin Park.
Oh, I fucking love Linkin Park.
Yeah, there we go. Are you going to be checking out the replay of the live stream after this?
Oh, I would not put that past me.
Yeah, it's quite the heck of a show so far. But
Yeah. Oh,
I digress.
Holly will be joining me as well. She's a major. She knows the words to every Linkin Park song as well.
hell yeah. All right, so this is Absolute Power Chapter 3 Last Stand.
Yes.
Or so you say, because there's another issue after this. But it's the semi-last stand, let's call it. This is written by Mark
the
Waid.
penultimate stand.
The penultimate stand, yes. The half chub stand.
Half joke.
Yeah.
Got a full-on robot chubby.
You say robot chubby? Be Bender?
I could not. You know what? I don't even know where the hell that came from. So now I've got to look it up.
Full on robot chubby.
I know it came from a movie.
Interesting. All right, so this is written by Mark Waid with art from Dan Mora, colors from Alejandro Sanchez, and letters from Ariana Maher, with the cover.
Evil Ted.
Evil Ted.
Evil Ted from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Right.
I got a full-on robot chubby. Yep.
God, I love Bill and Ted. Did you watch Bill and Ted Face the Music?
Yes, of course.
Oh, it was so good. And finally, the cover that you see before you from Dan Mora, which honestly, fucking gorgeous cover. I gotta say,
Gorgeous.
I really like this cover. But we pick up on Gamora Island, where Amanda Waller is talking with her team about their new assignments. Failsafe is going to go out in the world and try and corral some shit together. Meanwhile, the heroes have landed on Themyscira on Paradise Island and are working on regrouping and figuring things out. After their horrible fight with John Kent as the quote-unquote last son is what they're calling him. Barda and a few others are ready to just end it because that was a heck of a fight. They lost it horribly and they don't stand a chance. However, Dick, ever the leader and friend to the super family, says, no, we're not fucking doing that. We're not killing him. We can save him. Shut up. So then he gets everyone together and gives out all the information they have that Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Robin, and Zatanna are carrying out their assigned missions. Meanwhile, we have to arm ourselves as much as possible. Then he hands the floor over to Hal Jordan, who for some reason is topless, but excuse me, is showing off all the weapons that he stole accidentally from
Accidentally.
Gamora
Allegedly.
Island, uh, in his own series of Green Lantern from Jeremy Adams last
Allegedly.
month. Um, so they start doling out weapons and armor, um, and Nightwing gives out new missions. Flash is on the task of infiltrating Waller's Hall of Order, and bring back any intel he can. Hal is going to go with him, and Wally finds his old bomber jacket, or at least, yes, no, save this for your very own tactical jacket. Maybe it's his bomber jacket. Yeah, you can't really see it very well, but it looks like his old bomber jacket. That's going to be cool to see Wally and Hal ride together again.
Crazy body shop dress, man.
Aquaman, Blue Beetle, Red Tornado, and Yara Flor are being tasked with finding the Suicide Squad headquarters and infiltrating and freeing a man named John Starr, who we know from I don't remember what book it was, but there was a short story involving him, time traveler. Batman is convinced that he is there and is the key to helping end this. Donna Troy is going to stay behind and lead the charge on defending the island just in case the Waller forces find them. But then we jump on over to China in the Ministry of Self-Reliance HQ in Shanghai, where the powers that be there are talking about how the Great Ten have been captured and prisoners of Amanda Waller. This is when Failsafe pops in, or crashes in with a bang, and reveals that Waller is now superseded the U.S. government and is acting strictly on her own authority to save the world from the metahuman threat. But obviously the Chinese government does not agree with this and is not happy with this. But Failsafe basically tells them that you better just you better just fall in or fall out, and you don't want to fall out. Russia and Japan have already followed suit, so you better just join us or face the consequences.
Do what you are told.
Exactly. So he heads back to base, where Amanda Waller chimes in about the task force, the Amazo task force, and how they're running at less than peak capacity. So Failsafe runs a diagnostic and finds out that they have absorbed through their power stealing some sort of infection, as he says, an infection of identity. So he activates a momentary reboot, which reboots all of their personalities. And then we jump on over to what we saw in the last issue of Task Force 7, with Velocity chasing after Barry Allen Flash. Velocity begins to slow down, and Barry is getting away, which he finds very weird. But then somebody chimes into his ear, does not reveal who he is, but says it's someone he can trust, and reveals info about Waller's Supermax prison off the coast of Gamora, and that he needs to get to the lower levels right away. So he heads there. Toot sweet. And then we jump on over to the OSS Reeve, where the small team that Nightwing put together to free John Starr is fighting none other than Bizarro. Aquaman came prepared, though, and drops a Black Mercy right on his chest, which infiltrates Bizarro's mind instantly and gives him the happy image of him killing the heroes right in front of him. But obviously that's not happening, so they are able to get away and get inside. They find John Starr, free him, but then are found by Black Alice. But Red Tornado is using the helmets of Aztec and activates it just in time, which gives him intangibility. And they get away, but then Yara Flor is able to knock out Black Alice. Then Reddy gets shot in the head by, and I keep forgetting his name. You have three assassins in full gear and use one eye and have a skull motif, and you expect me to remember all of their names.
This one is Deadeye.
Deadeye. Okay, you have Deadshot, Deadeye. I forget the last one. Oh my god, the one that was in
Deadeye,
Suicide Squad,
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. It's give them some defining characteristics, please, please.
That
Um,
said, Death Blow. It runs across publishers.
right.
I'm telling you.
So he gets shot in the head by Deadeye. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and now they have to run as fast as they can to get away from the bullets. Um, the Amazers are still having, well, not as much a problem as they used to, but they're going back to finding as many metahumans as possible. This time without all that pesky personality involved. So they are running at peak efficiency. Um, the heroes make it back to Themyscira, just as the Brainiac Queen has infiltrated through some technology that Mr. Terrific was working with, um, thanks to the help of Io and her technomancy. So she infiltrates the island and reveals the location to John Kent, who shows up and starts wrecking shit. Barda has had enough and loads a rifle with a kryptonite bullet. But then Nightwing shows up right in the nick of time, knocks the gun out of her hand, and then yells at John to come to him, because they have a plan that he could not say out loud, that only him and Mr. Terrific know, because he couldn't risk it being heard with super hearing. And that plan is, once John touches down on the island, the magic of the island will interfere with the technology, and since he is super effective, super affected by magic, it's going to interfere with that technology tenfold. So with that, he's able to get through to John and tell him to fight it. Um, Brainiac Queen is doing what she can to get the technology to reactivate, take him over again, but it does not work. He breaks through and then says, as much as you've been in my mind, I've been in your head too. So now I'm going to show you what Waller has been lying to you about and what we really are as heroes. And she sees all the good that the metahumans and the hero community have done for the world and what they are really about, and they're not villains trying to overthrow everything. Batman then arrives via boom tube with the mother box that he secured in his own series. Amanda Waller, however, is rebooting with an emergency override. Brainiac Queen takes over her body and begins to attack John, but then Batman shows up with the mother box and boom tubes that Brainiac Queen all the way to Pluto.
Bye
And then he
bye.
turns his attention to John. Justice Clark arrives. They embrace in a hug. The technology has been wiped away from his body. Um, and now they're all back together again, happy, safe, and sound. Batman then goes to interrogate John Starr, and says, "You're coming with us because you know how to get everyone's powers back, don't you?" Uh, Wally has also gotten all the schematics that he needs and all the info he possibly can from the base in Gamora, but for some reason is also missing Hal, which I imagine we'll find out what happens there in the next issue of Green Lantern. At least I hope so, because we don't see Hal for the rest of the issue. And when Dick asks where Hal is, well, he says, "How much good news can you take at once?" So I don't know what that means.
Right.
Maybe he was captured. Maybe he stole a jet. I don't know. But now the heroes are ready to take the fight straight to Amanda Waller. Meanwhile, we see Barry Allen has infiltrated Waller Supermax prison and gone into the sub-basement, where he discovers not only a multiversal portal, or transmatter machine as he calls it, but the multiverse map that he has been charting. And as the person in his ear reveals, she stole it like she's taken everything else, and she's using it to build a multiversal army. And as we see behind him, we see three flashes from the multiverse: Johnny Quick, the Nazi Flash from Earth 10, and a Flash that I'm pretty sure looks like Bane of some kind,
Some
um,
kind. I'm not
coming up
sure.
behind him, ready to
That's
punch him
that's
in
supposed
his
to be some kind
schnoz.
of twisted zoom, maybe.
I mean, it's a pretty big guy. Could still be Zoom, but this guy looks like he's got venom hoses going into his arms too. So I don't know. We'll have to see next
A
issue. But
venomized Flash. Oh God.
yeah, right. Next issue, the final battle. So this was the last stand. Next is the final battle. Yeah. Barry's about to get his shit pushed in super fucking fast and hard. He's
That's
fucked.
filthy.
This is a crisis. And as the man in his ear said, make sure I'm not paraphrasing. Give me a second here. He needs to do what Flashes do best in a crisis: save the world or die trying. So, is Barry going to die? Let's find out. This was interesting. This issue has kind of got me a little more interested in what's going on here. Um, it's only 4 issues for the series. Uh, a lot of the side stories have been kind of interesting. It's not as big as they made it seem, like in terms of mass, in terms of volume of story.
Right.
But in terms of the actual story itself, it's quite the heavy story. So I like how they built it. They're not making it take over too much, like last summer's event title did. In this issue, with the character moments and the fun interactions and the big fights, it was really cool. And seeing the heroes able to come together, even without their powers, and still get a victory was fantastic. Um, and even like getting into the Brainiac Queen's circuitry and convincing her that she's wrong. It was a hell of a movement. Movement? It was a moment. I nearly said movement, and I was going to
Out
say
of a
moment.
moment.
Yeah, it's a hell of a moment. I like a good mystery, as I always say, so this man in Flash's ear is heavily intriguing me. I'm thinking it's Steve Trevor, but this man seems a little bit too mysterious to be Steve Trevor. We'll have to see. But that's what I got. It was a fun issue. It's a penultimate issue. We'll have to see how it ends. I'm really curious to see how it ends and how it's going to lead to DC All In, which I believe drops in November. But for this issue,
Coming
I'm
up
going
soon.
to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. Man, in the, I love Dan Mora, but in that panel where Bizarro punches Arthur, doesn't it look like he punches him through his abdomen?
Yes, I had to look at that really hard, and I think he did. But at that point, Arthur would have put the Black Mercy on him, so that was all in Bizarro's mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. 'Cause I was like, damn. But yeah, this was a great issue. As is normal, Mora doesn't let me down. He never does. You know, you have reached top of the line artist when you design a character that shows up in 2 issues, and it not only turns into an action figure, but a collectible, super popular one.
yeah,
Because, like, damn. The story that it seems to be heading along, I'm still not a fan of what they did with John. It seems pointless to have had it happen without any real consequence, but as far as the rest of it goes, I'm curious about what happens with the multiverse and what kind of army are we talking about when, I mean, we've already got an army of multiversal Zers. The, the rest can't be good ones. I liked it. 7.5 out of 10.
hell yeah.
For sure. And then I guess that's going to take us to our wrap up and the backup. Wrap up with the backup. We have Batman number 152. And, you know, that's it, 2430. I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Written by Chip Zdarsky, pencils by Mike Hawthorne, inks Adriano De Benedetto, Colors Romulo Fiardo Jr., letters by Clayton Coles, and cover by Salvador LaRocca and Matt Herms. So we are where we left off last time with Batman and Catwoman on Zarnia, having tracked down Waller's mother box. While Deadeye, Black Alice, Gunsmith, and Bizarro are there to try and make sure that they don't get it. So they battle it out while Selena tries to break into the case holding the mother box. It has a timer on it, and we all thought it was a bomb. Instead, the house unfolds and shows its contents, which is Waller's dead family, and doesn't set well with Deadeye. He's a bit astounded. Yeah, that happens to be Waller's nephew. The force field covering the house has been disrupted when Bizarro tried to punch through it. It destabilizes as a horde of carnivorous flying scorpions descend. The mother box opens when that happens, and Black Alice, Deadeye, and Bizarro are close enough to make it through. Bruce has figured out why there is no real trap here, though. Should the mother box be stolen, it doesn't need defenses because it will just signal to Darkseid. They grab it and start running. Batman knows it's controlled by thought, and he thinks his ass off. He finally has the island in mind, the spot where they spent time before Tom King ruined all their shit. And that's where they get teleported to, even after Gotham didn't work. Just in time, too, because Darkseid showed up and shot off Omega beams right as they disappeared through the boom tube. Now they make their way back home to do whatever needs to be done next. Now in the backup, we got Kelly Thompson writing it. Art and colors from Matea de Yuli. Jesus, let me try that again. Matea de Yuli, and letters from Clayton Coles. It's quick breakdown as it's essentially Diana admitting that her emotional decisions ruined trust between her and the Amazons when she came to free Sin. While Cass and Zealot train against each other, Sin and Majira have a deep conversation about their relationship, and Dinah realizes that if they are to make headway with Oliver, she's going to have to be the only one to go. It's simple, really good storytelling, added just a little bit to the Birds of Prey. And Matea de Yuli, I don't know where you came from, but you definitely do not have to go back. Holy crap, this is gorgeous. Cass, Zealot, Barda, I have never seen them look this good. Lock whoever this is down on exclusive DC. Anyway, altogether, this issue really worked for me for its individual parts. I'm not quite sure how this backup worked here and not in Birds of Prey, but here we are. Doesn't matter. I liked it, and I could look at it for a long, long time. The main story was spot on in this book and exactly where it needed to be, and looked damn good doing it, and had a backup that backed it right up. The whole issue is going to get an 8.25 out of 10.
Yeah, I had the same thought about why it wasn't in the Birds of Prey book, but I realized it's an absolute power story realistically with a Birds of Prey backing. So put it in a tie-in book instead of the Birds of Prey book.
Fair enough. It's a good point.
Which they could have just said. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird. They could have put it in the Birds of Prey book and then called it a Birds of Prey absolute power backup. But maybe they just wanted to avoid any confusion and complicated nonsense. So
works.
Yeah.
That way they get pulled. They get pulled in even if you're not reading the Birds of Prey book.
Exactly. Yeah. Plus, it's like free advertisement for those that aren't reading Birds of Prey and are reading Batman to say, "Hey, did you like this story? Maybe check out the book."
Well, did you like this story?
I did. Well, I'm still talking about the backup though, because
my bad. Well, altogether,
God, that art, that fucking art though,
gorgeous, dude. Wow,
that's some of the best comic book art I've ever seen. Where has this person been? I bet Brandon knows.
I bet you're right.
Oh my God, that backup alone bumps the score of this whole fucking issue up. But the main story with Batman was also quite good. Zdarsky putting his own little pin on the relationship of Batman and Catwoman. It's pretty clear where he stands, but he's not going to change the status quo too much because the status quo has been built up pretty well that Batman and Catwoman feel for each other and love each other, but they're not going to be together right now until they're ready to just settle things. But they will have that on again, off again relationship, and I don't mind that. It's interesting. Um, but they worked really well together as a duo here. Batman being Batman, taking on the Suicide Squad, and again wrecking shit because he's fucking Batman. But it was quite good. That moment with Darkseid and Bruce just being scared shitless. As much as I was like, I get that. At the same time, like he seems like way too scared. But at the same time, it's fucking Darkseid. It's him and Catwoman, and they're both banged up. I get it.
Yeah.
That was a moment that I really appreciate that Zdarsky gave that moment to Bruce of vulnerability and gave it in front of Selina, where he knows that if they don't get out of there right now, they are going to die.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, and it was set up. He set that up perfectly at the beginning of the issue, where
yeah,
he's like, "I've been to space, I've been to many different planets, but never with Selena."
yeah. Um, Plus dropping some major teases as well with the mother box. That the mother box
Hmm.
very clearly was connected to Darkseid, if not just straight up belonging to Darkseid, but also he teased that Darkseid kind of let them get away for some reason.
Seemed so almost, didn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Sitting there with a smirk on his face.
yeah. Maybe since clearly he could track that mother box, if Batman brings it back to wherever it's supposed to be, um, or wherever he's taking it, then Darkseid can use that to track whoever stole it. And I suspect he's going to show up in Absolute Power number 4 and wreck a bunch of shit. um, that's going to be interesting. So this issue was quite good. Um, I don't know if 153 is getting back into regular story or if it's still Absolute Power tie-in. This seemed to wrap up Batman's mission, so we'll have to see what happens next month. But for now, this is going to get an 8.75, which makes it really awkward because my top 3 books are all scored the same.
That doesn't make ranking them easy at all, does
It
it?
really doesn't, but I think I can muster it out. You've given your score?
I gave my score for Batman. Indeed, I did, and that would be an 8.25 across the board for the whole issue.
Right on. Well,
And I guess I will share my top three and favorite moment.
yeah, with that, it's that time.
Well, you know what? I had two today. Um, Both of them in the opening pages. But first, my top three, I gave number 3 to Batman 152, number 2 to Plastic Man No More number 1, and number 1 to Poison Ivy number 25.
Right on.
Two favorite moments. First one, Birds of Prey in the opening pages. Babs is identified as Batgirl Oracle combo. Just a little caption box. I thought it made me giggle. I laughed. Second thing was in the opening pages of Poison Ivy. Croc wigging out and just guzzling an entire pot of coffee first thing in the morning. For some reason, that hit me pretty. Actually, if I think about it, I know why that hit me well because I have to give up coffee, so I know why that hit me. But those were some of my favorite moments of the week.
Oh, question. Is it the caffeine you have to give up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say I had the perfect substitute for coffee if you still need a caffeine fix, but don't want all the disgusting coffee shits that come with it.
Oh, I don't. Oh, if I don't have to, I would never give up coffee.
I thought that too, but then I started drinking this caffeinated water, um, and I ran out of the pouches this week. I miscounted how many I had left, and the past 2 days I've had to drink coffee, and I fucking hate it. Yeah, I used to love coffee. Now,
I'm a coffee junkie, dude.
I was too, but
I could
got
drink
to the
two
point it was
pots.
unhealthy for me.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I could drink 2 pots by 3 o'clock.
Jesus, I had
I'm
to
saying,
force myself to be like one coffee a day, and that's it. Sometimes I'm drinking like 2 or 3 a day.
no, I'm weaning myself off now. Since that last trip to the emergency room, I'm doing 1/3 coffee, 2/3 water, and just I've worked my way up to it and slowly weaning myself off. It's
Yeah,
not easy. It is very hard.
should try decaf.
I mean, I'm working my way there.
Yeah,
Working my way there.
so you might get a placebo effect to it, where like your body's not intaking the caffeine, but you're getting the flavor of coffee, so it's probably going to trick itself into thinking you're getting it.
That's maybe I'm so non-reactive to caffeine
Yeah,
that like I can drink a cup of coffee at 8 o'clock at night. Well, that's not gonna work because I never fall asleep by 10. But I could drink a cup of coffee an hour before going to bed and be able to go to bed. I could slam down 2 cans of Coke before I'm gonna go to bed and actually go to bed. And it just doesn't really affect me much.
right.
Like I don't feel it if I don't have that caffeine. It's just the stuff that I drink all the time happens to have caffeine in it. But they're making me give it up. I have to give up Coke, and I have to give up coffee.
Well, motherfucker, you know what you need? Water.
It sounds like insulin.
Bitch, drink some water. What the fuck are you drinking now? Is that liquid death?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. That's beer, isn't it?
Mm-mm. No, it's water.
That's
It's canned mountain water.
what the fuck?
Yep, it's delicious too. It tastes like nothing. It's so good. So good.
Just the way you say that makes it
It's
sound so enticing.
I'm
Makes it
saying,
sound like you're being super sarcastic about it and you fucking hate it.
no, I'm not. It's so good.
That just
Like
seems
our
like
fridge. Our fridge has that nano filter on it,
right.
or it's like your charcoal water filter, another charcoal water filter, and then the UV light crap.
Yeah.
Um, but I still like the taste of this stuff better because there's
Fair.
like almost nothing, just the slightest hint of the minerals that you expect to get in water, and that's it.
Yeah.
And like it's not going from drinking this, and then drinking smart water. I swear to you, I could almost taste the plastic in the smart water.
Probably. Oh shit!
It's
I
so
should
good.
I should try it out. Just the whole concept of canned water to me.
Seems odd. I'm with you.
Well,
but
not
I'm,
not the concept of canned water as an idea. Just like the fact that like I don't know. It's like I'm saying you need to drink water, and you instantly show me a can. It's like, what the fuck are you drinking? It's water. I swear. I don't
Drinking
believe
water.
you.
It says mountain water right
What's the
there.
alcohol percentage in that water?
Nope, zero.
0.
Zero.
I still don't believe you. But
Mm.
I digress. Right. As for me, I will put.
I'm interrupting you one last time. When Holly went to Bonnaroo, Liquid Death had a tent set up,
Right.
and they would give you a can if you signed a piece of paper that said you were selling your soul to them. You got a free can of Liquid Death.
Wow. That just sounds like Nestle with less steps.
Oh god damn. I am using that joke in the near future.
I'm not even really joking. Fuck Nestle.
Oh no, I mean I'm with you there. I'm
Yeah.
fucking Nestle. That's why that joke is so funny.
Exactly. Yeah. Curse them for stealing water and then making it so cheap. So that's all people buy, including, and I'm outing her here, my wife.
Oh no,
There's been a half a bottle of Pure Life sitting on my desk for a week.
that's horrible.
It is.
It's horrible.
I love you, my wife, but goddamn,
Stolen water.
Stolen water.
You're drinking stolen water.
Stolen water powered by child labor.
Yep.
All right, so my top three. That's enough depressing talk for one episode. We'll say Batman at number 3, Birds of Prey at number 2, and Justice Society at number 1. Take that with a grain of salt, though, because I'm not convinced of that order either. That's just what I'm going to say for now. Like I said, they all scored the same, so I can't really. I liked them all equally at this point. Favorite moments for me,
Yeah.
I don't even know, man. Like there was no single moment that really stuck out. I can't really think of one specific moment, but if I'm going to pick any that did stand out for me right now, Absolute Power, when Clark and John embraced again after John was freed from Brainiac Queen's control, and Clark was just happy to have his son back. And I love those father-son moments, and that's been one of my favorite things to happen since Rebirth started, was Clark having a son like John, and to watch this superhero, this Superman that we watched grow for 80 fucking years, all of a sudden now enter this new chapter of his life being a father, and it works, and I'm just so happy. Anytime they have a father-son moment, I love it. So
That's what they're counting on.
yeah, exactly. That's why I feel the same thing with Bruce and Damian when they have father-son moments. Just like, this is fucking perfect. This is character growth. This is evolution of the character. We're like, yeah, we've had 15 other Robins, but this one is his first one that's biological. Except for Helena, but we don't talk about that one.
Nope. Get back in the closet with Bruno.
Sammartino?
Shh. We don't talk about him.
All right, but that's that's my favorite moment, and that is our show.
That is our show. That's it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel, and that is the show. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you